It's been a while since Audi has gone out on a drive. More often than not, when they take their products out, it's normally to the track to push it as much as possible in a safe environment. But out on the open road, it has been a while. We even asked them how long it's been, and they actually couldn't answer us. It's been that long. But here we are today. Earl and I are inside this car, an e-tron, a Q8 55 to be exact, to answer the most Tito question on the planet. Ba't ba ng Baguio yan? Of course, aabot ng Baguio yan. It's an Audi, it's a Quattro, it's an e-tron. Which, by the way, explains why we're in a parking garage and there's a bit of an echo and the car is wet because it's raining outside. It's November and there are 2 storms on the way. 3? There are 3 storms on the way? My goodness. Anyway, so that explains where we are. But the real story behind this is, will the car make it up to Baguio and back to Manila with 1 charge only, starting in Metro Manila? That's the real challenge here. So essentially, it was an eco run to see if we could make it back. However, there are a few things that I need to disclose. Number 1, we didn't get the car at 100%. We got it at 96%. Number 2, we made sure to keep it in its range extender mode. And number 3, I did not go past 90 kilometers per hour. I hit 90 kilometers per hour for like 15 seconds at best. Imagine how much fun I was going to have when I found out that this was going to be an eco run. In a Q8. So just finished our first stop at Petron Lakeshore. Just give you an update, we're at about 393 kilometers range and the charge is at 85%. We are driving very, very economically, yet still with the air conditioning on. And they made sure that I was driving and not Earl, because had it been Earl, we'd be at 0% by now.
Huh?
You know that's true.
No.
5%? Earl, I got a game for you. How many chins can you make? Go.
How many?
How many chins can you make? That's, I see 3. How about me? How many is that?
Oh God, I don't know.
It's like 17.
Okay.
This is the first trip, I think, that had we taken with Jack to Baguio, which he's not really a fan of, he would probably love this trip because the car is super quiet, super comfortable, plus coolers on the seats for both driver and passenger because he'd be sitting where you are, and massage functions for both.
Boo-hoo.
Yeah,
he's all the way in Taiwan.
He's in Taiwan missing out on this.
Poor Jack.
Okay, so we just came from our last pit stop, which is Shell Rosario. We did not charge at that Shell EV charging because the whole point is to be able to make it to Baguio and back into Metro Manila with 1 full charge. Now, the aim is to make it to the country club with more than, or at most, at least rather, 40% charge. We are currently at 63%. With a hair over 300 kilometers left to go, but we do have to go up the mountain all the way into the Baguio City to Country Club. Now we want 40% because we calculate that by the time it's time for us to go back to Metro Manila, the descent from the mountain will be able to bring back more charge into the batteries, and that will be enough to get us back to our starting point, which is Audi on EDSA. Will we make it to the Country Club?
Pagdating ng tunnel, facelift 30 kph.
I guess they wanted to be in the video. Will we be able to make it to the country club with 40% at least or more? We'll find out. We'll find out.
Remember, we started at 96.
Yes, Earl, Simon Cowell over here loves to point out that we did not start at 100%. We actually were dejado because we did start at 96%.
The other car started at 100.
Earl, it's not a competition.
Everything's a competition.
Oh, good grief. We made it to Baguio Country Club, 41% left. By the hair of our chinny chin chin.
Wait.
What?
I'm supposed to go with you.
Just walk.
No. Why'd you leave me?
Because it's quieter in the car when you're not in it.
But it's an EV already.
Yeah, I want it even quieter. Despite the speed, the drive was actually pretty fantastic. Even Earl himself was a big help. But before we go deeper into that story, allow me to give you a rundown of the Audi Q8. The Q8 is a premium mid-size crossover, and this GT has 408 horses, 664 Newton meters of torque, with a top speed of 200 kilometers per hour, 0 to 100 in just 5.6 seconds. It has a 62-liter frunk and a 569-liter trunk, which can be expanded to 1,637 liters. It's got a massive set of 21s wrapped in 245/45s, but I can't really tell you what the ground clearance is because there's adaptive air suspension, which lowers or raises itself depending on the speed, and a weighting depth of 500 millimeters. The fully sealed 114 kilowatt-hour battery is capable of 582 kilometers depending on how heavy your right foot is. Real-world driving is anywhere from 4 to 5.5 kilometers per percent charge. It is decked out in leather from the tip of the dashboard all the way to the rear seats. The rear seats, by the way, comfortably sit 3 people, no issues whatsoever. Even the height of Jack can fit back here. You've got air vents found in the center, air vents found on the B pillars too. You have air and temperature controls located directly below the air vents, and also charging points for the rear passengers, and a center armrest with cup holders. You may not have a panoramic sunroof to share, so to speak, but the rear passengers do have a sunshade that easily goes up. The driver and passenger are obviously going to be the most spoiled because the seats are literally like first class. Not only do they have air vents, but they also have a massage function.
That's massage.
That's massage! Ooh! Pulse, wave, ooh, ooh! It's like little hands are massaging my back. Decked out in technology, you don't have 1, 2, but 3 digital screens. One as your instrument cluster, one as your MMI, which controls functions of the vehicle, and then the last one where you can get to your air. Being an e-tron with air suspension means that it is a ridiculously comfortable ride, but made even sweeter with a 16-speaker Bang & Olufsen system. Really, just imagine my frustration. All that comfort, all that power, and I did a maximum of 90 kilometers per hour for like 10 seconds. Anyway, back to the original question. We obviously know that it's going to make it to Baguio. That was never in question. The question is, will it make it back to Audi PH headquarters on EDSA with that 1 full charge? Reminder that we only have like 41% battery left. And the lights are on, by the way. What the hell are we doing? Are we really going to make it back? I don't know, man. Let's find out. Okay, day 2. Time to head back to PGA headquarters, or Audi headquarters, Green Hills. 133 kilometers is what we have. But if we go to our battery settings, we have 41%. All right. So Let's hope this gets us home. Well, we just entered TP Lex on our way home. This is basically the point of no return because the last charging station was back there by the Rotonda before entering TP Lex. So now, a report. After coming off the mountain, we have 40% charge and a range of 206 kilometers, right? That's what it says. But if I check my Waze app, it says that we are 212 kilometers away from the headquarters of Audi PH. That's short of 6 kilometers, Earl. What are we gonna do?
We can push for 3 kilometers each.
We can push for 3 kilometers each. I say because I'm almost twice your age, you should divide mine by 2. So I'll push for 1.5, you push for 5.4.
No.
Wait, that's wrong. My math is wrong. 4.5.
Stick to driving.
Stick to driving, okay. Why is it that when we do EV runs and we're trying to do it in one go, I'm always stuck with you?
Because Jack always finds an excuse to get out of it.
That just basically means Jack's the smart one. Think about
Does
it.
that make us
Idiots. I'd like to also add that an eco run on TP Lex has got to be one of the most fascinating things on the planet because you get to experience things like eggs hatching, paint drying, water evaporating from our windshield. At least one thing's for certain, Earl. My wife won't be worried about the speed that I'm traveling at.
I think she has bigger things to worry about.
Yeah,
Like us actually getting home.
yeah.
It would be nice to actually speed this time.
No. But because of the constant speed that we're traveling at, which is 70 kilometers per hour, 10 kilometers above the minimum speed limit, which is right there, by the way. Our distance now is 198 kilometers to go. Our distance for the car has actually increased. We're now at 210 kilometers. So if we keep this up for another 700 hours, we should be able to make it to Cebu.
Yeah.
I don't know. We already pointed out that my maths are no good. Now we're on NLEX and our distance remaining is 75 kilometers. We have still a range of 111 kilometers in the batteries. So basically driving at the speed of smell helped a little bit. We've shed some battery. Earl has shed some layers of clothing because we are on eco mode in the sense of the air too. It's November, there's a storm in and out, but it gets kind of toasty still. I'm confident we make it. Am I scared? Do I have battery anxiety? Psh.
Range anxiety.
Range anxiety, battery anxiety. It's an anxiety I don't have, Earl. Psh. God, please make it. We are at Petron, Bocaue. There's 83 kilometers range, which is, it's okay. It's just that, again, it's that battery percentage that's getting to me and it's starting to freak me out because there's only 12% left. If this were 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning, which is what time Earl and I left for this trip yesterday, it'd be cool. But it's 5:15 in the afternoon, so which means that we have to contend with traffic. Did you calculate that?
No.
What kind of a quant are you?
A sleepy one.
Yeah. Okay, a sleepy quant. Great. Fantastic. Yay. Joy, joy. Here we go.
Not solar powered, you know.
Also, Audi has been nice enough to provide us with a flatbed just in case. Well, they were right. It can do PGA Audi on EDSA to Baguio Country Club and back in one full charge. Nay, less than a full charge, because we started at 96% and we have now 5% left, or 31 kilometers. So essentially, we could have done this with 91%.
No naman.
My math is wrong again.
No naman. Let that give us a buffer.
It's okay, calm down, Earl. Find out more information about this Audi Q8 55 specs and prices on our AutoDeal app, available on iOS and Android, and of course our website www.AutoDeal.com.ph. Thanks for joining us. Take care, stay safe, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Look, we made it. Look, turn around. You can see it. Was I nervous? Was I nervous? Earl, please, I don't get nervous.